Qué rollo, quiero mandar un saludo a mi amigo Goodfella de parte de tu amigo Jaime Munguía. Un abrazo, carnal. Ánimo.
And Canelo's 4-fight deal with the Saudis, or with Turki Alalshikh, it doesn't include David Benavidez. It includes a possible rematch with Dimitri Bivol. It produces that middleweight dude, Hazi, whatever that dude. I never seen him. Shiraz. Possibly Chris Eubanks Jr., possibly Bruno Saras, who knocked out Munguia, possibly Jamal Charlo, possibly Chris Eubanks Jr., and the only concrete name that we know in the deal is Terrence Crawford. So all those guys are options. He'll be fighting in he'll be fighting May, Cinco de Mayo, Independence Day, 2025. And after that, he's moving off the Mexican dates. All these fights will be in Riyadh outside of the Crawford fight in Vegas for Mexican Independence Day holiday. He'll be fighting Riyadh in May, possibly versus Jamal Charlo or Bruno Mars or Bruno Saras who knocked out Munguia. And then come back, September, Crawford, and then possibly in February 2026, he'll be taking on either Eubanks, Shiraz, or a rematch with Dimitri Bivol. And then, he'll be coming back October 2026 to Riyadh, both Riyadh, and doing something else. So, for the most part, no David Benavidez in the deal. So, he didn't fight David Benavidez. If he didn't fight David Benavidez before now, I don't think he was fighting David Benavidez in general. That's my opinion. If he didn't fight David Benavidez before now, I don't think he was fighting David Benavidez in general. And that's my opinion on it. Yeah, that's my opinion on it. I don't think he was going to fight him in general. And, it is what it is. You ain't going to let that, Benavidez said he ain't coming back down to 168 pounds. I agree with him. Shit, don't come back down to accommodate Canelo, then have an excuse, and then he put a rehydration clause on you and all that. My thing is, just keep doing your thing, keep building your legacy and all that, but Benavidez ain't in the deal. Now, could that change? It could change. But if Benavidez look vulnerable, but he ain't gonna fight Benavidez, so, that's just a story of boxing. When your top people in boxing don't give you the fight that you want to see, they don't give you the fight that you want to see, why would anybody else? Why would the other contenders, you are the face of boxing, you are the leaders of this new school of boxing, why would anybody else do something that you ain't doing unless they really want to catch you? And then you got to understand it's a trickle effect. You got to be in a division. You have to be in a division where everybody want to fight each other, or at least the other guy want to fight. And a lot of times, when two dudes are in a division and it's an elite fight that people want to see, one of the dudes don't want to fight each other, or one of the teams don't want to make the fight. And that's the unfortunate side of the game. Real talk. But he ain't fighting Benavidez, and that's setting the tone for the whole sport of boxing. And when they talk about Canelo was a legend, he was a Hall of Famer, no, he wasn't. He was a fucking disgrace. He was a disgrace in boxing. If you look at Canelo amongst all-time greats, he's fought the oldest fighters. His opponent, at his age of opponent on average, especially in championship caliber fights, is older than Rocky Marciano. It's older than his opponents when he fought. Triple G was 37 years old when he fought him. Shane Mosley was 40. Miguel had to be 34, 35. Canelo was Floyd was 36. Lara was old. We already know if he was 28, he was 38 in cubic years. He was 38 in cubic years. Shit is wild. Super duper wild. So, that set the tone for the whole thing. So, Benavidez, he ain't got to fight better BF people. Because what does it matter if I fight him? You still ain't in that deal. He got a deal going through this year and next year. So in 2 years, who the fuck know if we all still gonna be around? So whatever Benavidez do, they better not criticize. Oh, you don't want to fight Benavidez? They always want to ask, people to do how can you be a leader and tell your employees to do something that you ain't willing to do? That's the number one thing I find wrong with corporate America. Like, it was so funny about it is, I don't really want to get into this, but they had this clip going on the internet about, what happened in DC with the military thing and the American Airlines thing, I talked to Cole. So they had like the head of like the pilots or the flight, thing, not in the military, but they had like the head of one of the heads. He was a brother, and they was playing the clips where he was talking about hiring people for diversity, but they wanted a diverse group, not the best group, but a diverse group, and they were saying that a lot of people they got rid of because they didn't, get the woo. They fired them, and they had, one of the dispatchers doing more than one job because, these people didn't want to get the woo in 2020. And they put the leader of the flight thing, he was a brother, they put him up there and they was asking him about, what the pilots do, what the dispatchers do, what was the procedures and all. He couldn't answer no questions. He didn't know what the pilots did. He didn't know nothing about the dispatcher. He didn't know nothing about nothing. But he was the overseer of this pilot or flight department. He didn't know one question. Nothing. And that's one of the things I find crazy about America and corporate America. They will hire somebody from outside their company that knows none of their procedures, ask the employees to train their boss, and refuse to hire within because they want to keep a high turnover rate because they don't want to pay people. They don't want to pay people. That was so funny, man. Like, I was driving and shit, and the state police was right there, and the wind pushed my car and just slowed me down. That's wild. They don't want to hire. They don't want to hire, but they want to hire people. And it's the only country, I ain't gonna say the only country, but in this country, their leaders and bosses don't know how to do the jobs. Ain't that crazy? Like, I remember I used to have a job where they would have to call us and pay us cash to come in to do the job because the team leader and the bosses didn't know how to do a particular job and know how to do it. So they call you up just before Cash App, Venmo, get there, they pay you for being there, paying you 2, 3, 4 hours to be there, give you some cash on top of that, and that's that. Real talk. This is real spill. So you want these guys to do something that the platinum standard, diamond standard in boxing won't do. You understand why these guys won't fight each other. And all this, he earned the right to do this, man. You earn the right to get my viewership. You gotta earn the right to get my dollar. And if I give you a product and it's good at first, and then I give you the same product and it's not as good, it stopped working, it make you sick, you gonna keep buying the product? Absolutely not. So if you want an obligation to people to continue to buy a Canelo fight, you want an obligation for people to support Canelo and say he's a legendary Hall of Fame boxer for real in people's eyes, he has to fight the top guys. And the rest of these guys like, well, Canelo ain't doing it, I ain't doing it. Why should I go fight the top guys when he ain't got to fight the top guy? Canelo's never fought a young champion for real. He fought Austin Trout. That's about it. And that was, a lot of people felt like he got a raw deal because of the open scoring. Well, I think he fought him in Mexico, didn't he? Something like that. That might have been Texas. So yeah, you want to know why the sport, man? Oh, you earn the right? No, you got to continue to earn the right to get my dollar. That's why I've been stopped watching this fight. Been stopped watching this shit, dude. It's trash. It ain't like Tank where you get excitement in this fight and some type of suspense. Canelo's boring. They talked about Mayweather being born and all. Man, that nigga born too. Everybody outside of Austin Trout you fought was old. Matthew Haddon, I don't know how old he was. He was bald. Brian Rose was like 70. Amir Khan was past his prime. He was older too. He might not have been older. He was old. He was on his 8th weight class. Who else did he fight? James Kirkland was past his prime, nigga. Liam Smith still had gray hair. Patty Jacobs was like old. Nigga look old. Nigga look like Rufus the hound dog in his backyard on his 17th senior year. Come on, man. Shut the front door. Shut the front door, Canelo. Shut the front door. Shit is wild. Crazy, ain't it? I'm gonna ask these dudes, man. That's crazy, man. That's all I had to say, man. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. Join the Patreon. I appreciate y'all. That links to the link tree. Join the Free Game 89 channel. Check. Join my Detroit channel, Mercy Sports Talk. Peace.